This is day one of the limited championship event at SorceryCon 2026 in Indianapolis. This is round 4. My opponent at the top of the screen is Robert, and I am at the bottom. Turn 1, playing out a stream. I don't believe I have one drop. Yeah, passing turn. And this deck that I opened, day 1 was a sealed pool of 6 packs of Gothic, and I was not very enthusiastic about my pool of cards. I had to go three elements just to reach enough minions to make the deck work, and most of those, like all 3 of those elements, like a lot of the cards are like 2 threshold cards, so it makes it slightly difficult in this deck. I did go 4-4-4 in the Atlas, so 12 Atlas cards and 4 of each element, and then passing turn. I do have some minions in each of the 3 elements that I'm running that only require 1 threshold. So like as far as synergy goes for my deck, that's about it. I was just trying to do the best that I could on my minion curve with what was available in the pool. Turn 3 play from Robert, getting out a search party, and then passing turn back to me. Search party is going to trump the white that I have on the board here, so I need to come up with an alternative solution. I would love to be able to cast the Ignited that I have in my hand to take care of the search party, and then attack in with the white. However, I do not have a fire threshold yet. So my next best option here is to play a Heretics of Seth, steal one of my nearby wards, probably pulling it off of the well, and that gives me a 3-power warded minion I can use to defend against the search party. Leaving the white where it is, which is slightly risky, but I didn't really want to move it away from attack position, just because there's no guarantee that he is going to play a 4th site adjacent to the well. So if I moved the white to the well, that might leave it out of action for one too many turns. He does choose to play a site adjacent to the well, though, a River of Blood, and choosing to move sideways with the search party to go around the threats that I have on board. I think that losing the trade to a warded Heretics of Seth was probably a little unpalatable to him at the time. Again, following up with 3 mana for Penitent Knight, it could defend if it wanted to. So it is preventing the whites from outright attacking into the wasteland, and it does sit there as a roadblock for the Heretics of Seth. I'm going to go ahead and just attack in anyways with the Heretics to see if he'll block. He's choosing to let that through for 3 points of damage. I still haven't played a site for turn yet, so I'm likely going to play that Wasteland next. Wasteland's coming down. That's going to give me 1 fire threshold. Probably going to play the United, there it is, to remove his Penitent Knight. And again, just returning to that board state that I left him at last turn, where the heretics kind of threatens adjacent to the search party, and it just provides an unpalatable trade for him, where the heretics basically just kill the search party and lose their ward, and then he loses his piece from the board. Robert beginning his turn here. And trying to figure out what he's going to do. If I was in his position, I would probably just ignore the heretics with the ward. If I didn't have a way to pop that off somehow. Maybe just attack into the Blessed Well site with the search party to try to get 3 points in, and then also to see if your opponent is willing to block and lose the whites. He's thinking long and hard about it. I think he doesn't have a good way to deal with the wards. And there goes the attack into the site. I'm choosing to let that 3 points in. It's a lot easier to choose to let 3 points in when you're at 20 than when you're at, say, like 10 or 8 health. But at the beginning of the game, you have a considerable lead in the life total, and it gives you more flexibility in whether or not you choose to defend and chump block with your pieces. He's playing a Hellhounds for 3 and passing turn. Generally in sorcery, the longer you can keep your pieces on the board, the better. It's just having pieces on the board gives you more options in the game. It gives you more capabilities, potentially for future turns. At this point, I'm just continuing to push in damage by wheeling the Heretics of Seth over and moving up with the whites for 5 points in this turn. I felt pretty comfortable doing that just because of the site placement that he chose for the Hellhounds. He cast them all the way to his back row, so they're not in a position to threaten to attack one of my sites on this turn. Accidentally showing that I have a smite in my hand. I meant to play the zombie horde. So the zombie horde coming down on the same site as the search party, as just like a big body threat on the board here. Typically, like especially in limited sorcery, if you can get like a 4 power body or a 5 power body to stick, it presents a problem for your opponent that they will have to deal with. Robert catching a break with the Accursed Desert, playing that out to break the ward on the heretics. So at this point, unless he has some tricks up his sleeves, one of the best options he could probably do with the search party would be to attack into the Heretics of Seth, since I don't have a defender available. The zombie horde, it can't move to defend, it can only defend on the site that it currently inhabits. So the options available to him with that search party piece are limited this turn, but doing like a 1-for-1 trade is probably the best value that he's going to get out of that piece before he passes turn. When he passes turn, I am likely to just attack into the search party with the zombie. Instead, he's using a trial by fire to deal 3 points of damage to the zombie horde, and then trading the search party with the zombie horde as the greater threat. So a decent play to remove that piece from the board. You definitely don't want that running rampant. Swinging for 5 per turn. But that does set him back on card advantage here. Like he's dangerously close to running out of gas. I think he's got like 1 card left in his hand, and that's it. Playing a Crawl Morlock, 3 power body to contest the Heretics of Seth, and then keeping the Hellhounds where they are, which was an interesting choice. I'm not sure if he meant to do that to be more defensive, or if he just forgot to maybe move up with them on that turn. I'm choosing to just trade with the Morlocks and then push in 2 more points of damage with the white. Tapping to play an Accursed Desert. Can't get any value off of the Genesis, and luckily I was able to cast it in a position where it preserves the ward already on my Blessed Village. I wanted the 6 mana so I could put the Shoggoth. So the Shoggoth comes in with Void Walk all the way up into the corner, and again is now threatening Robert for 5 points of damage on his next turn, unless he can come up with a blocker. Blocker or a way to somehow remove it. Which is a little difficult to do. You would need something like a Begone in Gothic only. You could play a land site under it and then Buried Alive the piece maybe. But typically casting into a void square offers you some additional protections in the game. It is a little more difficult for your opponent to target or get to game pieces that are in the void space. Getting an Order of the White Wing out, 3 power with a ward on it. So his front line here is looking pretty nice. He's got 2 3 powers, 1 with a ward, and he's passing turn back to me at this point. It looks like I've got some vanilla 3s in my hand here and a smite. I do have the threshold now to play the smite. It's not going to. I can't really play it on the Order of the White Wing though with the ward on it. But I'm gonna go ahead and take my first play there, which is just to attack in with the Shoggoth for 5 points of damage. Since he does not have a defender, and I'm going to do that no matter what. And then just deciding where I'm going to cast out these additional minions in my hand. Attacking the back row there with the white, just seeing if he's going to choose to defend with the order and drop the with a ward on it. He's choosing not to. And then passing turn from there. And I think that I accidentally took a step forward with my Spell Slinger. I think my Spell Slinger should have been tapped on this turn when I played the Accursed Desert. I think, unless that was last turn. I don't remember already whether or not I played that one on this turn or not. But if it wasn't if that wasn't an illegal play on that turn, I think my thought process was that I'm getting him very, very close to door here, and unless he comes up with a blocker for the or a removal for the Shoggoth, he's going to go to door, and so I just want to kind of start moving forward towards his avatar to make it easier to secure a death blow when we get to that stage of the game. Hellhound's trading with the mummy. He's going to tap. He's going to tap to move with the Spellslinger. Has not cast anything yet this turn. 6 mana in his mana pool. Still has the Order. And he's choosing to... He can either choose to clear the white with it, or he can attack in and see if I block with the Horrible Hybrid, which I think I would be unlikely to do, because the only sites that he could attack into would be the Blessed Village. I guess he could attack into the avatar itself as well, but that would pop the ward. He's choosing just to remove a minion from the board. I think he's trying to play as defensively as possible at this point, because he must know that he must know that if he can't play a defender or remove the Shoggoth on this turn, he's going to door when he passes. 2 for an Exhume, which is an interesting choice for the Exhume location. We'll see if he changes his mind here before he passes turn. I would think he would want to play the Exhume more defensively to prevent the Shoggoth from advancing forward and attacking, or to set up some blockers for the Spellslinger. But instead he's playing them in a more offensive position forward to maybe push some more damage in here. Instead of swinging for door, I'm just opting to clear board. I think he only has 1 card in his hand, so I'm feeling pretty good about my position in the game right now. So I thought I had a little bit more time, and it was a safer bet to maintain control of the board at that point. But looking back on it, maybe it would have been better just to swing for door and just kind of figure out death blow once I have him the door on a subsequent turn. He's trying to figure out what he's going to do with the skeleton. He's going to punch the site for a point of damage. He needs to move the avatar or play a blocker. He's tapping for a site. 7 mana to play Golgor. So 7 power minion. Can certainly do it. So 7 power will block the Shoggoth effectively. So if I want to tag him when he gets the door here, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get some more damage, or to get another attack or a source of damage onto his avatar when the time is right here. Choosing to use my smite to remove Golgar, unfortunately. So unfortunately, that's going to banish. And then I think at this point he chooses to concede the game, just because he doesn't see a way out. And I also had a toolbox in my hand, and I do have a kill spell in my sealed pool collection. I believe like a ghost fire, at least one ghost fire and a detonate. So it was a fun game. It was like I said, it was a long day of playing these big events. They're a lot of games, and they're like kind of like you feel like they're a little more serious. People take them a little more serious, so it requires some more mental energy and more focus when you're playing the game. But it's always fun. It's always fun to play different people from around the country and meet new players, and just have fun. Thank you for watching, and we'll move on to round 5.